Hello Guardians and welcome back to my channel, Parts About It here. Giving a video today about some info on what I know about Destiny 2 for the beta play. As you can see from these little screens I'm showing that on the Titan, Hunter, and Warlock, on the weapons they're holding, depending on which character you start, you are getting an exotic weapon in the beginning of the game, like the Sweet Business, the Risk Runner, Submachine Gun, and then the Sunshot Hand Cannon. And I'll go into a little bit of details on what I learned about these weapons. Okay, now the gameplay you'll be seeing here is with my Warlock. As you can tell, like I am using the assault rifle. From my personal experience from playing with all three characters, what I found out is that the assault rifles are way better than your scout and pulse rifles. Like how it's all been about scout and pulse rifles back in Destiny. Now this time it's all about the assault rifles and the hand cannons. My personal preference, I'm more of an AR player than HG player. But the hand cannons are way more powerful and really accurate in the beta right now. I'm pretty sure by the time Destiny 2 comes out, they'll be getting nerfed. But also right here, as you see, Cade is using the Ace of Spades and the exotic hand cannon. And in my opinion, I think that might be a sign that some of the old exotics might be coming back into Destiny. Another thing right here, with Sax is that I see on his back he has the exotic sword, the Razor Lighter. And in my personal opinion, like I believe that the exotic swords will be making a comeback in Destiny 2, or at least maybe some of the old ones as well. But not all of them, because we see Kay with the Ace of Spades and then Sax with the Razor Lighter exotic sword. So that's what makes me believe. Now about this exotic submachine gun that you get with the Warlock, it's really good up close. It's an up close personal gun, but there is a huge downside to it. It has really bad handling and a lot of recoil to it. As you see, like it melts up close. It's and probably like a close to mid-range gun. I really wouldn't use it for long distance engagements. But the hand cannons, if you're going back into them, like they can kill an enemy with pretty much 3 to 4 shots, depending on what they are. And then the exotic hand cannon that you get with the Hunter, it's not very good. From what I can tell, I'll be having gameplay of it as well in here towards the end where I'll be using it a little bit. But it is good for taking out enemies that have shields. Like take out the shields and switch that weapon and kill them with. But I'll go all into that later. I'll also be going into details on the supers. I test out the super abilities on these characters that we get. What I think about them. But as you see here, like I'm like really favoring the ARs, mainly since like that's all the Warlock has is a AR, pulse, and then a scout. I tried the scout rifles, and like even though they have more impact, it's just they don't really seem to do damage. Also, another thing I learned is that for the Warlocks, for the solar grenades, solar fusion grenades. Now we all know back in Destiny that if you weaken an enemy and then you threw the grenade on them and you hit them with it, it explodes on them. Like it causes extra damage and pretty much kills them. Well, on Destiny 2 so far on the beta, that does not happen. Like you could weaken them, attach a grenade on them, and it explodes, and they're still beast enemy. As you see here, I'm using the power weapon, which is the fusion rifle. There is a grenade launcher, but the fusion rifle seems to be a lot better. It's really powerful. You can one-hit enemies with it.
You're not just assaulting the city. Look at the traveler.
The shotguns on here, which you get with the Titan, is also really powerful as well. And then the sniper rifle that you get with the Hunter, I tried it, and my personal opinion, it sucks. This literally sucks. The sniper rifle you get with the Hunter. So there's not really too much you can really do about stuff like that. It's just how they made it. Hand cannon is very powerful. The AR assault rifles are like the second most powerful weapon in the game, and then everything else is just kind of like. And shotguns are really powerful for your heavies or power weapons. It'll be your shotguns and fusion rifles. Everything else after that is just personal opinion. Can I use a plaza here to test out the super abilities? I believe I'm on Voidwalker on my Warlock right now, and then they're on towards the end. Yeah, I'm on Warlocker. They're on towards the end. I'm using the solo one. I don't know the same for off the bat. I'm seeing how well it does. I'm seeing a video of that.
Don't let them pass the gate. The evac shuttles are back there.
As you can see, like the effects that they give for the no bombs, so they look really cool. But I also noticed like the no bomb is like way slower now. Something I like what they did here on the first mission in the beta is where you like later come across like two random players and like you're playing with them. Like in my opinion, like that's really cool. I hope there's more missions and in the game when it comes out where you actually have to have where you meet random people that are playing it like solo. Like, cause you know, I'm more of a solo player myself. And I'm not gonna lie, there's times where there's missions on Destiny to where I'm going like, well, I kind of wish I had someone help because I gotta be a little more tactical, and cautious, and everything. But if you did have missions where it's like this, to where you get like two randoms up here and they help you out with like that a certain part of it, like that'd be great. Because that was a really good idea so far. Okay, now going into information about the enemies here, as you see, I'm shooting at the tanks on these cabals. Those are their weakness. Also, don't be too close to them when they explode, because it does. See right there, it shoots you back and does a lot of damage. As you see here, like with the future power rifle, like there's one shotting them, and it's really good. And see, you know, shooting them in the head wasn't really doing much of anything, but as soon as you start shooting the cancers on their back, like it later takes them out.
Someone told me you need a ride.
Okay, now this is the enemy right here, who's kind of like a small elite mini boss. His counter is really hard to just shoot and destroy, and he likes to hide. So like, if you come across bosses like these, and like when it comes out, they're hard to kill. Here's another mini elite boss. This is where I go and use the sword super on him, kind of get like a little sample on how it is. From what I can tell from this server, it's more, it does some like really nice damage on the boss, but it also is more for clearing out enemies. Okay, now as you can see here, I'm using the Titan's Defender class where I'm using the shield. The shield is actually really good. I like it a lot. It's kind of reminds me of some of the MMOG games that you may play for here, where you're playing basically just playing as a tank. And Titan was basically a tank to begin with, but the Defender class with the bubble kind of made it to where you had to be stationary, and with the shield ability part, like you could be a tank that moves around and you could just dish out like a lot of damage. Another thing I also know is like when you're in this area right here on the plaza, Zavala can die, and but he won't like revive himself. You have to interact with his ghost and revive him, like if that happens. Now for this exotic armor, you get sweet business with the Titan. I actually kind of like it a lot. Like it's like that doesn't really do a whole lot of damage on like per bullet, but it's because it has a high magazine and everything. As you saw there, like with the headshot that I've gotten, like you get 88 and everything. So you gotta like literally like constantly hitting your enemies with it. And I got a bunch of them out kind of pretty fast, decently enough, but kind of how it is. One thing I wish they kind of did for the game though is have to where you can switch between armor of light, blessings of light, or weapons of light, but they didn't let you do that. You're stuck with what they have preset for you on stuff. And here I'm giving an example. I'm going to be giving an example with the striker building on how it's different. Also, another thing I like with the Titan is how you can get a small personal shield for cover that you can stick your head over and use by aiming down sight, and also automatically fully reloads your weapon when you go back into cover, which is really nice ability. As I say, I'm getting an example on right here of it. I literally like, yeah, there it goes. I also kind of find it interesting how, seeing how this is supposed to be a continuation of Destiny, I find it weird that how like a lot of us are level 40, 400 light, but yeah, it starts out as level 20, 200 light. Like I find that really interesting, and I'm kind of like wondering like why they did it that way, but I don't know, it's just how they did it. Okay, now here we go for the as you see it right there, like the shotgun is really good. Like I wasn't even really aiming for the head, but I got a headshot. Now I'm seeing like a lot of people spam with the striker as it is, like Fist of Panic. A lot of friends on Xbox and they call it the Fist of Panic, along with on PS4. Because when a lot of people will panic and use it to get one kill. And it was just kind of really annoying. Now here's the Sunshot exotic hand cannon from the Hunter. And but back to the Fist of Havoc real quick. How you can like use the Havoc like multiple times. I can see people in the Crucible just spamming with that like constantly, and I can tell it's gonna be really annoying. But as you can see here, like I'm using the hand cannon. Like the Hunter has a hand cannon. It's really powerful. Like it's like I said, like 3 to 4 shots. You kill an enemy, they go down. Okay, like I got the exotic hand cannon out right now. I'm just gonna be using these parts here as an example on how it goes. See, I use a grenade, kind of like Vegan Sundome. The grenades, it was a skip grenade. As we know in Destiny, the skip grenades were just like, it kills enemies like really easily and multiple guardians, but on here it just doesn't do that. As you can see, at a distance, like it's doing a lot of damage. So as here, I'm using it. See how like within 2 shots it takes down his shield and does a kind of nice amount of damage by the explosion that it causes by the shield. But when it comes to like personally trying to just use it to damage and kill an enemy, I wouldn't really recommend it. Just use your regular gun, not the sunshot.
Look at the size of that thing. It must be their command ship.
Another thing, some of these dodges, like the ones I just used, the one for the striker, if you will go and dodge near an enemy and you get a melee kill, it instantly recharges your melee again, which is really handy. And then there's another one where it also fully reloads your gun if you use it near an enemy. And I use it right up over here near enemy to avoid, because see, I was already weakened as I was. I go and dodge right here to avoid getting killed, and my hand cannon is instantly refilled. So that's a nice ability to have on the dodge.
Okay, my ghost keeps tagging these Cabal as Red Legion. Cora, what do you got?
Rumors mostly. An elite faction of the Cabal, deathly loyal to their commander. But that is irrelevant. They are attacking the Traveler. We must get to it now.
Negative. The Traveler can wait. We will protect our people at any cost.
Traveler. What is that thing they're attaching to it?
Let's say I get the super, so I'm going to now use the new blade dance ability that we get. Trying, like, I didn't do too well with it. The enemies were running away, so it's also a little weird using it because I'm use bumper jumper, so you can kind of like use R2 and plus the melee also to do different types of movements with it. So it's a little confusing trying to figure out how to do regular strikes and heavy strike.
Hold this line until the last civilian is safely away. Fall back to my shield. Don't let them pass the gate. The evac shuttles are back there.
You can see, even at a distance, like the hand cannon is really good. Alright, now here's the sniper. Gonna give examples of how it is.
Stay inside my shield.
So like, it takes them out with 2 shots. But if you get a shot on the head, like, they can still live. So that's kind of like a little. Now on weaker enemies like the small lower rank Cabals, you can one-shot them with the bullet gun, but when you come across like the more elites, like it's going to take 2 shots, like guys with the canisters on the backs, who have the flamethrowers. Like they take 2 shots each with the bullet gun to kill them. So kind of keep that in mind. Like tougher the enemy is, the more shots it will take. Alright, but this pretty much wraps all up for the video intro on my theories about the how some of the old exotics might be coming back into the game, like the Ace of Spades or the exotic swords. Y'all have a fun.